Hello everyone, and of course in May we're focusing on the virtue of zeal. And for zeal there can be a good zeal, but also an evil zeal or a bad zeal. We read in the Rule of St. Benedict, chapter 72, just as there is a bad zeal which separates from God and leads to hell, so there is a good zeal which separates us from vice and leads both to God and eternal life. And that's what we're pursuing in living the virtues, is the life of God dwelling within us. We know there is virtue that we can seek to master by our own human efforts, but also the grace of God that is needed in order to perfect those virtues. But grace, of course, builds on nature, so on the human level, we want to continue to grow in the virtue of zeal. The core of what St. Benedict calls the zeal of bitterness is a tendency toward the dissolution of common life, forgiveness, reconciliation, and mercy. Instead of focusing on growing the community, on pointing out things in a positive way, it deals with resentment and disappointment and discouragement and radiates a negative atmosphere. So it's a zeal of bitterness, we might call it. And really the ego is at the center of there instead of others and seeking to serve others. The true motivation of the bitter zeal is not reform for the sake of souls or wrongdoers and the common good, but rather the removal of pain and a feeling of outrage. Certainly we find that in our culture today. Many people have a zeal for bitterness, pointing out the faults with everyone else around them, instead of seeking their own conversion and the conversion of other people. That's where the virtue of zeal for souls will find us in the pathway toward heaven, as we seek to live with enthusiastic courage our faith more deeply, one day at a time.